Hello and welcome to this week's Dave Cooper Live, and get ready for a jam-packed few days as we have just landed in Phoenix, as you can tell. That's right, Phoenix, Arizona, advancing prefabrication show where the movers and the shakers are in attendance and really taking industrialized construction to the next level. I cannot wait. But today we are super pleased to be sharing the latest news on how industry giants are coming together to form new relationships and build it better. Leading Latvian industrial manufacturer Forta and Samsung C&T, that's right, I said Samsung C&T of South Korea, recently joined forces to become a major global modular construction company, marking ambitious development plans both in Latvia and overseas, and they already have their first project in the works. As signed partners for producing and supplying construction solutions for various global modular construction projects, what does the scale of this deal mean for the global community, and how will this combination of technology and technological know-how help us all to build it better? So today, please welcome Aviv Brosilovski from Forta today on Dave Cooper Live. Get ready to learn more about their plans for the future of smart modular construction. But before we get into all of that, we got to thank our sponsors, because we cannot continue to bring you all of these innovative conversations from around the United States and the world and from the airport without them. So let's give a big hello and a big welcome to our sponsors of today's show.
Forward Solutions Group is successfully driving companies to succeed where others have failed. Are you looking to start a factory, optimize your existing factory, streamline your production, or take your team to the next level? Whatever your needs are, Forward has a solution for you. Reach out to Ben at forwardsolutionsgroup.com. Halleck Ltd. has a long history of innovation in cold form steel manufacturing and producing innovative precision roll forming technology for customers throughout the United States and the world. Check out their machine buyer's guide for off-site modular construction or fast build construction with light steel for framing. Go to their website, halleckltd.com.
All right, again, thank you to all of our sponsors for everything that you do. And as always, we are in Phoenix, Arizona. So please, if you are out here, it is not too late to come to Advancing Prefabrication. That's right, DC Live 10 will save you 10%. I will be here until Friday mid-afternoon, so make sure you connect with me if you are out here in Phoenix, Arizona. All right, so without further ado, let's hop into it. Let's bring Aviv on to the show. Aviv, how are you?
Hi, Dave. Good morning. Very good, thank you.
Good morning, definitely. It is morning here in Phoenix. What time is it where you're at?
Well, it's 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for staying after work for us.
Sure.
So
Thank you for having me.
yeah, this is great. You know, we love to do breaking news on the show. We love to see when there's big announcements and big partnerships and collaborations that are formed within this industry. So I'm super excited about today's show with you. But first, Aviv, we want to know a little bit about who you are and what you do, and then let's hop into what's going on in the world of Forta. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I'm Aviv Brosilovski, and I'm responsible for business development in Forta. Forta is a Latvian-based company and one of the 3 Baltic states in Northern Europe. And we do 3D volumetric modular construction. So happy to be on the show and to present our latest news.
All right, so the latest news. So Samsung has entered the market of modular construction, and they chose Forta to do it with. And you know, some things that I learned that I really did not know is Samsung, though they are known for electronics, for telephones and for TVs and all these other great things, they are also one of the largest construction contractors in the world, correct?
Yes, indeed. So very exciting news, of course, for Forta and for, I think, the entire modular industry. Samsung C&T is indeed a very large construction company, engineering, infrastructure, power plants, as well as information that I will share, experts in high-rise buildings, construction of high-rise building, including the tallest building in the world. So we are super excited about this. We've worked hard to get together, but now the way we look is only forward and to a very bright future.
This is amazing, right? Because, yes, they are one of the largest construction companies in the world. They did build one of the tallest buildings in the world. I believe that one's in Dubai. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right? That's the one they do all the skydiving off of and all the crazy stunts in the movies. But, why modular, Aviv? What did they see in Forta Pro? Like, where did this conversation begin? And did you kind of fall over when they reached out to you, or did you reach out to them? How did this happen?
Well, actually, it was one of these emails that you get, and you start a good conversation. So immediately we felt that there are two parties that are very interested in cooperation. Of course, the technology side is very important. So Samsung, of course, bringing their engineering knowledge and their modular previous knowledge. And together with our experience in our home markets, especially in Europe, we got together. We immediately started, collaboration process, and we saw that there is a lot to gain from this merge. So, it's a cliche, but 1 + 1 creates 10 in this case, even not 3.
Right.
So we immediately understood this, and it was very natural for us to get together. A very good relationship, and I think that the trust between the two parties is well established, and that's the way to move forward.
Well, that's it, right? I mean, it all starts with a conversation, emails in this case, or what have you, and then the trust. But, Forta Pro, by yourselves, you guys were doing some amazing projects, some really big projects. I mean, you're known for the quality of what you do, and you're also known for doing projects that people wouldn't realize that you're doing, such as building in marshes, for instance, and the reducing the environmental impacts of buildings and taking all this into account. So this is going to be a great conversation, because for everybody out there, yes, we have a presentation for you today. We're going to run through all of this stuff with Aviv. But first, Aviv, we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. So get your tweets on. And if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go there and subscribe, and make sure you ring that bell so you get notified. It helps the algorithms, and it helps us keep growing this channel so we can share the messages and the news about everything that's happening around the world, such as this. So, Aviv, Forta Pro, give us the breakdown on where you started, and then what is your projects you're currently doing, and then let's get into the presentation right after that.
Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned, Forta Pro, a Latvian-based company, part of Northern Europe. And our home markets are mainly the Scandinavian countries, which is Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland. But we also successfully completed projects in the UK. We're working on pilot projects in Canada, Germany, Iceland. So our let's say, marketing and business strategy is to go in export markets. We use our existing facilities in Latvia, but most of the product is being shipped many places in the world. And this again shows how well we can interact and collaborate with a global player like Samsung.
For sure. So why don't we hop into this? I know we have a pretty good presentation that's really going to give everybody a good overview of what this is all about. So why don't we jump into the presentation and walk us through this journey?
Sure. Let me just share my screen, and I can kickstart this. Okay. So Forta Pro, Latvian-based, as I mentioned. We own and operate two large factories, modern factories, since 2013, and capable of manufacturing 120,000 square meters per year with international experience. And one of our prime aspects of the business is sustainability. So we put a lot of emphasis on that in our products. We started with this. So great announcement on December 2022, so a few months ago. we signed an agreement, collaboration and investment agreement with Samsung C&T. As you mentioned, this was a long process, but we are successfully here and happy to communicate this to the global industry and to the world. And we the main collaboration idea is that we can scale. We want to scale modular. We want to go global. We want to build factories in other places in the world and replicate our success in the home markets to other places in the world. So as you mentioned, Dave, Samsung is very known for their electronics, smartphones and TVs, but actually Samsung C&T is one of the largest construction companies. And in this slide, you can see some of their projects, including the tallest building in the world. This is Burj Khalifa in Dubai. And also second project and third project like Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur. High-rise buildings. So that's where we want to be. Forta Pro system allows for that. And we want to develop together both unique systems that can go in high-rise buildings and use technological and sustainable elements into the projects. We also won international awards. The latest one is in 2021 International Project of the Year in Stockholm, Sweden, and I'll share some information about this project because now it's completed, so I can show you some of the interiors and so on. Forta Pro, to those of you that don't really know us, we have 315 people in the company, very strong in-house design team, trained staff, and very modern factories and modern approach to the business. We greatly care about the client's project program, the budget, the quality, the durability of our products. Of course, about our people, our environment, and safety is a crucial part of the business. So all these elements together place us, I would say, in a very good position to be a leading modular manufacturer. To our clients, we offer a wide range of solutions, including residential, hospitality, hotels, nursing homes, even healthcare and hospital solutions, which we are doing at the moment and we previously did. We have a separate line of production of bathroom pods, prefab bathroom units, which has also been very successful. In terms of markets, so, being in Europe, Northern Europe, obviously, our home markets are the nearby Scandinavian markets, the UK, Germany. We have plans to go to the Middle East. We have plans to go in Canada because we now have a pilot opportunity there. And of course, US is very attractive, very interesting to us. We are going to be in the World of Modular Expo at the end of the month. And I look forward to meeting you together with my management team. And we look forward to working in this business as well. So if we look at the project stages from Forta Pro perspective, we start with the technical design, completely finished and furnished modules in a linear production line. So very much like a car industry, we have tracks in the factory and the modules being built in stations, on tracks, being packed and shipped on trucks with ships and then assembled on site. We use the latest softwares. Everything is done in 3D, of course, from the very early stages. So Revit, Tekla, all the MEP lines are being drawn as 3D elements from the very early start. So very, very successful in the software implementation as well. The basic system is a steel frame. The steel frame allows us to go in high-rise building. A lot of advantages here. Bolting system, lightweight. We can go in high-rise buildings, getting the stability that the building is requiring, as well as in seismic areas. We know how to deal with this, and we know how to design and build with our system. If we look at the production, everything is done in the factory. Again, what I mentioned earlier, linear production line, built-in station, MEP, all the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing is being built into the module in its production on the line. And here you can see a short clip, video clip, how the module arrives to site. The packing is being stripped off and then lifted very carefully. There is a lot of know-how in the lifting process and then positioned into its location. You can see the environment, very tight environment, living environment, but the installation process is very quick, it's very quiet. We are not disturbing the neighbors, very quiet construction site. So a lot of advantages here. Of course, we can do customized solutions as well. So different types, which we already completed. And Dave, if I go and dive into a recent project, because I think this is what the audience wants to see, how buildings are being built. So one of our latest project is this Unity Kista in Stockholm, Sweden. 4 buildings, rental apartments, including the tallest modular building in Scandinavia. Okay, it's not so high rise. Scandinavia is not so high rise. It's 16 floors, modular, and we now completed and won an award for that, International Offsite Project of the Year in 2021. And when you go inside, this is what you see. So everything you see here was done in the factory, fully furnished apartments. These are rental apartments for young professionals. So 25 to 35 years old, nice apartments, stylish design, Northern European design. And unique about this is that Forta can also provide the communal areas as modules. So not just the box, not just the living room, but also communal area where these young tenants, they can come in, they can hang out, drink a beer, work with their laptops, get together. Everything is modular and everything is done by Forta Pro.
Does the beer come with Forta Pro as well?
The beer, we're working on it. We're working on that. So second project is now being completed for same client. Very challenging project, very challenging. You can see from this image that it's not your typical rectangle box. But the client pushed us, wanted us to deliver everything as modular, including the roof modules, and we did it. And I think this is our next big success in this project. About 10,000 square meter in this 5 buildings. You can see the layout here. The 5 buildings are connected, very unique design, connected with metal bridges between them, so you can actually roam between the 5 different buildings. And here on this slide, you can see the concept. Actually, if you look at it from modular construction point of view, not really modular, not rectangle, odd shape, sloped roof. The mechanical system, the heavy machine sits on the roof. So we had a lot of challenges here, but we made it. So you see how from concept, we can work with the design and we can work with the client. And on the right, you see the finished result in the building. And then videos are always fun. So let's see how we deliver. So you see odd shape, different types of modules going on trucks, on ferries, and assembled on site. And then next video is a quick time lapse. I will jump here, but just to show you how we work on site, okay? So truck comes in with modules, see how fast, see how clean it's being done. The assembly team can work and do 10 to 15 modules per day, which is remarkable. This is, it's about 750 square meters per day of completed modules. Again, I'll jump here. Third floor. Interesting is the roof modules. You see them now being put on top of the standard modules. Sloped roof. Of course, the concrete core is being done on site by the main contractor, but this is being done while we produce the modules in the factory. Okay, done. In a very short period of time, we assembled the building, and you can see how it looks. Very clean site, very quiet. Another interesting project which you completed and shows the advantages of modular of our system is rooftop extension. So this was existing building in Denmark. We added 24 apartments on top of the existing building without the tenants leaving their apartments. So in 3 days, you have 24 apartments on top of the existing building without any reinforcement to the foundation or to the structure of the existing building. The reason is that the modules weigh about 1/3 of traditional concrete construction, and thus allowing you as a developer or as an owner to expand your buildings fast, quietly, clean, without the effort of going through a construction process.
Aviv, let me ask you something about the mechanicals. Are the mechanicals just prepped at the factory, or does each unit have its own separate mechanical system, and then you have a general core that runs through the building to supply power, gas, anything that's needed, electricity?
Well, of course, depending on the project itself, but typically all the piping, all the works of the mechanical, electrical is being built into the module, and it's being pulled outside of the module for the connection in the shafts area or in the corridor area. And then once the module is being assembled, we want to avoid as much as possible entry into the module itself. So we keep the connections outside of the module, say in the corridor area or in the core itself. So again, but we also delivered units that are completed with all the mechanical built in as a single unit without any real connections on the exterior.
Got it. And if I may, I want to ask one more question. In regards
Sure.
to the set, watching that time-lapse video that we just went through, how are the connections made when those are set? Do you have a locking mechanism built into the module, so when you stack one on top of the other, they're automatically connecting, or does somebody have to go back through and weld?
No. So this again is unique about our system. We are not using welding. We are using bolting system. So the system that we use a female and male connection. So modules are stacked one on top of the other with a female and male connection and then bolted. Of course, in some areas where it's needed, where we can do some welding, but we try to keep it as minimal as possible to avoid the risk of having welding on site to a finished and pre-finished module. Okay, so the bolting system allows us to go very quickly. Just to give you some example, the tall building which we built, the 16th floor building, our tolerance between ground level and 16th floor is 2 millimeters. which is remarkable in construction. Simply because if we deviate from this, preciseness, yeah, we simply cannot plug in the building. We cannot stack the modules. So accuracy and detailing is crucial, starting from the design to implementation to production, and then of course assembly on site.
And I know I said I had one more question, but I got another one. Let's talk about on that building we saw the set. From the time a project like that comes in the door to the time you're actually putting the modules on site, what does that process look like, and what is the length of time from when you actually engage contractually with a partner or a client?
Well, for us as a modular, this is a great question, because for us as a modular producer, we would like to be engaged at early stage, and because many people think that they design their project to fit modular, but what we actually see is that it's a different case. So in many of the cases, we serve as consultants to the client at very early stages. We work together with the client's team to perfect the design for modular and for our system, and thus getting the full effectiveness of modular, speed, efficiency, cost, of course. Once we have that, we can go very quick. So for us, a typical project is, so from signing a contract, of course, this depends on the size of the project and the diversity of the modules and the number of the modules. But if I take as a general, thumb rule, start to finish could be 10 months. If we go with simple design, could be 6 to 8 months, which is in construction, if we compare that to traditional construction, of course, we know the time frame. In most cases, it's double. In other cases, it's triple. So
Yeah.
we save time, we save cost, we have much better quality of the finished product. And
and you're
this
saving.
is a great advantage.
It is a great advantage, and like you previously stated, a lot of the foundation, the elevator shafts, the concrete work is being done simultaneously while you're building the modules. So when all that concrete's finished and cured and ready to accept the modules, you're ready to go. And I think that's a big thing that everybody really needs to understand here, especially in a units like you're doing where they're rental. I mean, that's heads on beds really fast.
Yes, I agree.
For sure. All right, let's put the presentation back up on here now, and we'll just keep
Thank
going
you, Dave.
through it. Sure thing.
Yeah, let me show you some more examples which are very suitable for modular, and this is the hospitality or hotels. We completed several projects. Again, building extension, 5-star to 2-star. But for us, it doesn't really matter. Everything is being done with the same level of attention, with the same sustainability, with the same preciseness in the construction. So you can see some of the examples here. But if we look at more, in depth into these buildings, this is a 5-star project we did together with a Danish company. So very high level of detailing, furniture,
Wow.
not so traditional to modular, but very high level of detailing, furniture again, and electricity, smart home, everything is there. So we can do that. A more, again, another Scandinavian example. This is a 4-star Clarion Hotel. Again, what you see in the photos, this was completed in the factory, including furniture. The TV was not there, but now with our new capabilities, maybe we will include that as well. And you see the bathroom units. So we use marble, special stones, very, I cannot go. We don't have a lot of time, but this bathroom is very complex. It's 4 different surfaces that have to be aligned, and with 3 or 4 different materials. You see the mirror, you see the tiles, you see the marble. They are all in one flat surface. So very unique expertise in building these rooms. And one of our recent projects, which we are now completing, and we are very proud of, this is a long stay hotel in Denmark, a very sustainable project. So you can see in the photo that this is a lagoon area right on the beach. And you see the 3D photos here from the design, and soon I will show you some real images. So actually, the hotel is blended into nature. We don't harm nature here. Everything is being built on very minimal piling on the water. Some of these buildings are sitting on the water, and it's all being connected with wood bridges between the different buildings. And the roof itself, as an example, is going to be a green roof. So grass is going to grow on the roof, and aerial view will be complete nature. So very sustainable project in the southern part of Denmark.
How do you get, I just got a quick question on that. I mean, when you
Sure.
talk about the sustainability, the location that this and built is, I mean, it's already complex enough how we design and build using modular construction, right? It's very precise, very accurate. And now you guys are throwing in a whole nother complexity of building in a high impact zone area where there cannot be any environmental blunders. Did they choose modular for that specific reason because there's less impact on that site?
Of course, of course. This is critical. This is unique to the developer that we're working with. It's our second project together with the same team. So this is a repeating clients. It's very important to us as well. They chose modular because it's quicker. We don't use concrete. We don't pour concrete. We use very minimal interference with the environment. And you score for that. You get points for that as a developer. And for us, it's very important as a manufacturer. So we don't, it's a nice slogan to say, okay, we're environmentally friendly, we're sustainable. But for us, we take it to the next level. You can see the photos which I'm showing at the moment, how the 2 rooms, the 2 modules are connected to create one building with 2 long stay rooms. You see that in this case, we use a lot of timber, a lot of wood. So again, to reduce the impact on the environment, we use recyclable materials. I can tell you another example that the stone, the cladding, the facade on this building, you can see that it's being pre-cladded in the factory. This is Brazilian stone. So we actually imported Brazilian stone to Latvia, assembled in the factory, shipped to Denmark. The reason is that this stone is very natural, it's very sustainable. The process of manufacturing it is very sustainable. For all this, you get points. And it's a beautiful project. It's a beautiful project. And you can see aerial view in process of assembly. You see the water. This is being flooded at certain period of the year. So beneath the buildings, it's a lagoon area flooded with water. Now you don't see the grass that is going to grow on the roof because it's still not there. But imagine in 3 months, it's going to be green, completely green from aerial view. And you see the wood bridges connecting the buildings. I have a drone footage of the area in the assembly process. So again, you see the seafront, and the way we put together this building, so freestanding building. It's not our high-rise typical, but still, the client wanted us to deliver this, and we are very proud of this project. And if I go further, this is the completed rooms. So again, fully furnished with the deck, with the furniture, with the nice terrace. Imagine water is beneath the building. So a lot of, and you can see the piling, I think, on the corner there. So very minimal piling. A lot of detailing here. It's a very complex project. You know, imagine water underneath the building. How do you avoid moisture? How do you seal that? So a lot of challenges. I cannot give you all the secrets, but of course, this puts us on a very, cutting edge in terms of technology and solutions that we can offer clients. If you go inside, Dave, and I hope that on your European tour that you're having, we will welcome you there. We will stay there. We will visit. And this is what you see inside. So what you see inside, basically, this was shipped from the factory. These are real photos. This is no longer 3D simulation or Photoshop. You go in, you take a shower. Everything is there. So I hope this was interesting to the audience that showed up. I'm going to be together with the management team in World of Modular. Let's meet. My email is there. And I look forward to participating in future events. I will have a presentation at the World of Modular as well, show you some new stuff, speak more about Samsung and the cooperation and the way forward for modular.
Well, I think it was a great presentation. Yes, I got a lot of questions, and I know some of it you're going to say, yeah, Dave can't do that. But you know, building in the marshlands, building on high impact environmental areas is a real benefit that we have in our industry for offsite construction. Those houses, the buildings you were just showing in the last, connected by the wooden bridges, can you tell us a little bit about what they were just sitting on pylons? Were they screw piles, or how did you actually get something in the ground to sustain the weight of those buildings in that area?
Well, basically, we use screw piling. This is done by the local contractor, but again, very minimal. In total, I think that the depth is 20 inches deep, and it's a challenge. It's not an easy cabin or which can sit on anywhere. It's a challenge, and we're glad we made it. It gives us, again, as I mentioned, it gives us an advantage in creating this kind of portfolio. So, you have a lot of modular producers. Some of them do 1-2 story building. Some of them do only medical. Some of them do cabins. But in Forta, we try to be very diverse. So we do this kind of solutions. We want these challenges. We want to improve. We want to do better. And I think that this is what drives us. This is what is driving the business forward. We want to take modular not just for Forta, but for the entire business. I think our success is the success of the industry, and we are happy to see others succeed, because we don't want to be the only one on the planet. We want everyone in this business to succeed and move forward, because I think this industry is the future. We are super enthusiastic about modular, and this announcement with Samsung and our achievements, it brings good wind to our sails forward.
Yeah, it really does. So listen, we're at about 45 after. We got a bunch of comments. I have a ton of questions, and don't worry, everybody out there. I will be with Aviv at World of Modular, and we're also going to be doing an event at World of Modular. So if anybody's interested in that, if you're an executive or own a manufacturing facility, please reach out to me. But let's get to some comments here. We got Mateo Atwee. Hey, Mateo, good to see you. He says, hello, Dave Cooper. Interesting show. Hey, what's great about these two, there's two brothers here, Aviv, 26 years old, started their own manufacturing facility in Louisiana. So my hats are always off to the younger generation. That's a lot to bite off, as you know. It's not an easy thing doing what you guys do. So I love it. Andrew Wilkinson from England. Excellent news for your company, Aviv. Thank you, Andrew. Banu Dalani. Hey, Banu, good to see you. Compliments, looks good. All right, let's head to France. Henry Mickelberg, well-deserved Aviv. It only taken 7 years to get to this point. I can confirm that Aviv provides beer. Yeah. Hey, I love that you're working on that, by the way. I'm going to hold you to it. Definitely. Hey, we got Steve Burrows there. Question, have you published any cost studies versus on-site methods for the completed buildings?
Well, price is always an interesting question. What I can say is that the price has to be competitive. I don't think that our main competition is other modular producers. The main competition of a modular business at the moment is traditional construction. So one of the points is that we understand and we have to stay competitive. I can say that from previous cases, we are competitive. I'm not sure that we are the cheapest in the world. We don't want to be the cheapest in the world. We want to deliver good quality products. And I think that the clients that work with us, they come back to us with more and more projects. This fact gives us a lot of pride, sorry. And of course, price has to be competitive. We know that. And we try to be very competitive in the market as well.
All right, appreciate the question, Steve. Thank you. Michael Bruce had a comment and a question. Interesting work, Aviv. On the renovation project, did you LiDAR scan the existing building in order to design your new modules?
Yes, well, of course, there's a lot of consideration once you build rooftop apartments, structural analysis. In this case, the main contractor used the transfer frame placed on top of the existing roof, and we tie the module into the transfer frame to divert the loads from the modules to the existing structure. So without going into a lot of technical details, but of course, all the structural analysis needs to be prepared. But again, the advantage of using modular in this case, basically, the developer didn't have any choice. I mean, concrete wouldn't work for him. He couldn't build on top of this building without significantly reinforcing the building, taking the tenants out, construction site for at least a year, 16 months, and so on. Modular, quick, transfer frame, place the modules in 3 days, 24 apartments in 3 days, tenants not moving out, and then some finishing, quiet work, facade, and so on. So, great solution.
Yeah, appreciate the question. Thank you for that. Steve Burrows back on the radar here, asking a U.S. contractor to build a core of any tolerance like 2 millimeters is mission impossible. IMHO, in my humble opinion, I believe is what he means by that.
Well, it's a challenge everywhere, Steve. Thank you for the questions. It's a challenge everywhere. We treat our business as production business, not so much as construction. Construction is different than production. Production, you can be very precise, working in controlled environment on a controlled production area with climate control. It's minus 20 degrees Celsius outside, and the employees work with t-shirts inside. So It's very different than working on construction site, but we have this interface and know-how in how to work with the main contractor and to achieve these tolerances. Of course, we have to take that into account during the construction process. We supervise the site, we visit the site, we work with the main contractor to make sure that we are synchronized and aligned.
Appreciate that question. Julian Bowen. Hey, Julian, good to see you. He says, Aviv and I share an appreciation of the role of precision in modular construction and have obviously figured out how to adapt to adjoining trades like concrete. Precision is possible and it is less expensive than sloppy.
I agree. I think that the projects which I showed demonstrate that it can be done. It's a matter of, mindset.
That's right. That's right. 100%. All right, we got John Magnan. Hey, John, good to see you. Great approach and beautiful homes, he says. Good to see that and glad. All right, this will be the last comment here we put up. Steve, he's at Julian Bowen's answering Steve, maybe Steve Burrows. That isn't necessary. Interface details are the key. That being said, precast elements with embedment can be as accurate as the steel frames.
Yeah, Julian, let me comment on that. The building which I showed, the tallest building, this project is 350 apartments, rental apartments. And actually, the main contractor in this case used precast concrete to create the core. So they didn't cast on site, but they used prefab elements to assemble the core. Again, saving time, speed, accuracy is there. So this combination of hybrid, prefab concrete with prefabricated 3D volumetric modular speeds up the entire process. You get the accuracy there. You get the speed, the quiet and clean site. A no-brainer for the construction company, for the owner, and of course the neighborhood as well. It's also very important. You don't have noise, dust,
Yep.
and so on.
For sure. For sure. Let me put this up. Andrew Wilkins says, no secrets, Aviv.
I try my best, Andrew. I try my best, but
So
people squeeze me, people push me, but I try.
I know. Well, listen, Aviv, are you joining us on the 28th, the day before World of Modular, for our get-together?
Yes. I'm hoping I'm not too jet-lagged, but yes.
You'll be there. And so if anybody wants to pick Aviv's mind, World of Modular, and at our private event that we're having and a private dinner, if you are at an executive level in the industry and a factory owner and you'd like to attend, send us a private message and we'll see what we can do. So, all right, Aviv, I have a question for you, my friend. I really want to know. Now, you guys have partnered up with Samsung in this journey, but nobody ever marries the first offer. So was there other people that you were talking to before you decided to do an agreement with Samsung, or was it just something that happened?
Andrew, help me here. I have to say, our collaboration with Samsung is our prime interest. I think that the trust between the two companies is the crucial key that drove us into this agreement and into this business. Samsung is a great name. Forta is relatively young and growing company. But as I previously mentioned, I think that the trust between the companies and between the people, and this is not just a cliche, I think that we share the same opinion. We are now working very closely together, the teams, on multiple projects, and I hope that we can bring some more news to the industry, to construction industry and modular construction in particular. So, sometimes when you meet someone, you have this click, and this click goes, and you simply go. We saw this in the minute that we met, and we are very proud of this, and we look forward to very successful and fruitful and fruitful cooperation with the teams.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, one thing, it's a huge company, but the other side of this is they are a huge tech company. What does that really mean for a company like yourself when you bring together a huge tech company? Let's think of the tech side, not the construction side. Will you be able to work on their tech side with your buildings and incorporate awesomeness into everything you're doing, collect the data, give the environment that people are looking for? Is that something that's on the radar with this whole integration?
Indeed. I think this is one of the points ahead.
Yeah.
So not just the construction technology, but also other technological aspects of buildings and the environments in general. The way we live, the way we consume, the way we use data to improve, and so on. So the technology is going to be implemented into the modules,
Yeah.
into the modules, and I'm not talking about just smart homes and lighting and so on, but it's about saving energy, improving your way of living, and the way the way we live we all live. So this is especially on the radar of both companies, indeed.
Yeah, I would imagine it is, and it makes a whole lot of sense. So I got two more questions, and we're going to wrap it up here. I know we're well over time, but Steve Burrows made a comment earlier. How does the partnership address what Steve Burrows talks about in terms of total cost, operational cost, life cycle costs, etc.?
Well, yes, of course. I mean, modular is going to be cheaper or less expensive, let's put it this way, than traditional. You need the volume, you need the size there, you need the design. I would say this is the first point. If you get the design right, you get the repetition, you get the effectiveness of the factory construction and the assembly, then of course modular is going to be cheaper and more effective than traditional. I can say that in full confidence. Dave, I think you're muted.
And we are just about out of time here, and we're at Advancing Prefab out in Phoenix, right? And this is my last comment that I would love to hear, and I am going to be running into Amy Marks, and Amy Marks, the Queen of Prefab, speaks of convergence between manufacturing and construction, tech and construction. So I know when I go there and I run into her this afternoon and tomorrow and Friday, she's going to want to know who else should be thinking about relationships like this?
Well, I think that big players will go into this business. I think we've heard about big names like Warren Buffett in modular and others, but I think we're going to see more and more players go into this. And I think it's not just for the benefit of Forta Pro, but I think in general, the industry. We need this kind of support, and the modular needs this, and the success, as I mentioned, the success of others is our success as well. So, we have our way, we are going forward, we are developing, we are growing, and hopefully others will follow as well.
I love it. I love it. Aviv, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been amazing. I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks and break some bread with you. That's going to be amazing as well. And if you're not signed up for World of Modular, Aviv is going to be there. He is also going to be speaking. And if you go back into our presentation a little bit earlier, his end card did have his contact information. You can reach him there or reach him on LinkedIn. And if you're not following Forta Pro and you're not following Samsung now, who is also in the modular space, you're wrong. Follow them, but not until you go and follow us on YouTube and hit that subscribe and like button. Aviv, thank you so much.
Dave, thank you very much. Always good to see you. And thank you for your time and for the opportunity to present Forta Pro and the recent achievements. So thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas and for future events. Thank you very much for everything, everyone, and who attended, and thank you.
Yeah, no, we appreciate each and every one of you out there. We can't do what we do without you. Aviv, don't go anywhere. You stay right there. And for everybody else, hey, check out these sponsors because we cannot do any of these conversations without them supporting us. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
What an amazing show. Thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us to continue to bring all of these innovative conversations to all of you out there. Please visit them, see what they have to offer you. And as always, subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring that bell. It would mean the world to us. I'm Dave Cooper. Thanks for watching.